사랑하는 아버님, 오늘 이 자리에 모인 선남 선녀로서 아버지께서 세우서 싸우니 영원하신 부부의 인을 맺기 위한 거룩한 식전 후에 당신의 무한한 사랑과 축복이 같이 하시옵소서. 영계와 육계가 주시하는 가운데 저희들은 역사적인 새로운 가정의 전통을 세우기 위하여 순환의 길을 거쳐오면서 이 길을 개척해 나왔습니다. 이는 당신의 창조 이상 가운데 본연에 타락하지 아니했던 선남 선녀를 중심 삼고 선한 자리에서 아담 해와가 하나님을 중심 삼고 하나님의 사랑에 의하여 참다운 축복의 한 날이 있었던 널 하나님을 중심 삼은 선의 부모여,
What is your name?
Kazu Watanabe, or Kazuaki Francisco Watanabe.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What kind of blue?
All kinds of blue.
Have you read Bluettes by Maggie Nelson?
No.
I recommend that book. It's about falling in love with the color blue.
Okay.
Have you seen Blue by Derek Jarman?
Yes. Any more blue questions? The most significant event or moment that I can at least symbolically point to for that kind of break between old and new is probably my divorce, which was a marriage arranged through the church, and which lasted several years after already leaving the church ideologically or in any practical sense, except that I have this relationship that lasted only or existed only because of the church. So I felt like after that break, after we had split up, I was finally on my own as an adult, away from my parents in New York City with no ties to the church.
Hey, Will and David, what are you guys doing? Oh. Uh-huh. Watch for Harry. Watch for Harry.
The thing about the church is that it defines everything about you, or it can, and it did to me, so that I had no practical understanding of the world, and neither did my parents, and down to the very rudimentary, fundamental basics of knowing how to live, like how to manage a budget, how to pay taxes, how to live and survive in this world and contribute to it in any way. So my life purpose has always been defined by the church, which is basically absolute filial piety and duty to the Messiah and to my parents.
No. Say I'm
Butterfly. The butterfly kiss. The butterfly. The butterfly kiss. The butterfly kiss.
This is Yokkaichi, and Omata is playing with his new sword that Hiroko-san gave him. He's so proud of it.
I had no practical sense of what I was supposed to do, and I didn't care. I was part of a holy mission, so to speak. They were outsiders. They were busy doing all these things that they thought that had value, which meant nothing ultimately.
I'm from a really small town called New Tripoli, Pennsylvania, and I now live in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Abigail, or Abby Sayre. I guess it's hard to say. It was like a long process of leaving, but by the time I was probably 24, I was like out and not looking back.
Uh-huh. Got some dead basketballs. Damn, band's so good.
I moved to New York City in June of 2008. So yeah, around that time I was going through a lot. I mean, I had graduated from college. I had started a program in graduate school to get my master's in childhood education, so I was going to school at night. I was working full-time as a new teacher in the South Bronx. I was living on my own for the first time. And I was seriously questioning my spirituality. Even though I wasn't completely out yet, my world had I had been so expanded to the point where like the church became less and less necessary, and I could look at it more and more critically. So even in 2008, I was looking at it pretty critically. But I remember still going to church, like definitely still going to these big ceremonies at the Manhattan Center, you know, and right across the street from Madison Square Garden. So, you know, my family was definitely still in, you know, and so they're still in to a certain degree. So I still, you know, I still have to sort of manage those worlds too. Yeah, it was a crazy time.
Let's go.
There are a lot of expectations both on like a daily, weekly, monthly, everyday life basis and on like a grander sort of cosmic scale, right? So on the day-to-day basis, you might be expected to like get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and read spiritual books, you know, and sort of read the words of Reverend Moon so you can like live with them throughout the day. It would be an expectation that you would go to church every Sunday, that you would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Sundays and go through a ceremony of bowing down to this picture and reciting prayers. And, you know, I was expected to, you know, go to summer camp and be a group leader and teach my younger brothers and sisters, you know, the things that I knew, and to give testimony about my relationship with God and talk about that in front of rooms full of people. I was expected to remain a virgin until marriage. I was expected to have an arranged marriage, have children. You know, it's definitely not a choice not to have children, which was another incredible, like, bombshell revelation to me as a young woman. I was like, oh my God, this is a choice. Like, I don't have to do that. It was pretty mind-blowing. And you're expected to, like, do God's will and sort of like restore the earth to its original glory before it was put asunder by Adam and Eve and all the, you know,